everybody, Chris Brown here with 5-Star Home Inspections, back with another video through our video series. And today we're talking about wells, well components, and well function testing. This well right here is fairly new. This is actually the well on my personal home. Couple of things right off the bat is you see this little fake rock over here. If you see one of those in your yard, that's probably where the well is. Sometimes you may see a well house, different things. So when you pull the cover off, this is what you might see. Now, with some systems, the pressure tank might be outside, and some it may be inside, in the basement, crawl space, whatever. But either setup is totally fine. So the components. Wellhead. On the wellhead, you have a shutoff valve. You also have this vent pipe right here. Now, the vent pipe obviously allows it to vent. And the other great thing about this is this can be removed. And this is where you would put your solution in if you were going to do a chlorination and or well shocking. You have the pressure switch and you have the pressure tank. This is just a little electrical service box that provides all the power for this system. Now, how it works is pretty basic. This switch right here is typically factory set and most likely usually adjusted by your well water contractor. Those adjustments may depend on the depth of the well, what kind of pressures they're pulling out of it during the drilling process, gallons per minute, a lot of different variables. So they will set this to the appropriate settings. And then obviously we have the pressure tank. Now, this switch works in tandem with the tank. So when you turn your water on and the pressure drops, this switch will click on and it'll tell the well pump, which could be 250, 300 feet in the ground, to come on. Water comes up. When it gets back up to pressure, this switch will cut off and it won't come back on again until the pressure drops. Now, the pressure tank itself, this is an all completely sealed unit. If these things ever go bad, there's no repairing them. The only way that you can solve the problem is you have to replace the tank. On the back of the tank, there's a air valve right here, which is kind of like the same thing you would see on your car tire. Now, as far as the steps of how we do a well function, different little tricks. First, we can look at that air valve right there. We can put a gauge on it to see how much pressure is in this bladder, okay? The pressures in the bladder are typically factory set, but it's always a good idea to check it. Also, if we hit that valve and water comes out of that valve, that's not good. That tells us that water is either in the bladder or around this bladder and the tank is bad. A couple of other ways to check. We put these gauges on the wellhead. Now, I'm not going to do this for the video purposes because water would go flying everywhere. But on this gauge, you have a GPM, which is gallons per minute, and then you also have your line pressure. There are particular settings that we look for. So when we hook this up and turn it on, we can see when the pressure drops, at what point the pump kicks on, and then when it fills up, what point the pump kicks back off. And we're checking to see if this is all within reasonable settings. A couple other ways to check the pressure tank itself. We take this laser thermometer. Same kind of thermometer that we use to take temperature readings inside the house and other things that we do. Now, we can take this thermometer and we shoot it at the bottom of the tank and run it up to the top of the tank. What we're looking for is two things. We want to make sure that the temperature at the bottom of the tank is colder than the top of the tank, which tells us that the bladder is generally okay. Now, if we get the same water temperature at the bottom and then get the same water temperature at the top, that tells us that this bladder is compromised, that there is water between the rubber bladder and the outside of this tank, which means the tank is bad. The other thing that we do is we do the tap test. You can actually tap on the side of this tank and just listen to the sound, and you may hear it in the video, that will tell you, hear how dead that sound is. Now, as I go up the tank, you're gonna hear it more tinny. Hear that? So that is the basic ways that we can tell how this system is functioning. So hopefully you learned a little bit today. We appreciate you looking along. You can find more information on our website at www.fivestarhomeinspections.us. Please call us with any questions or concerns, 855-500-3744. Thanks again for watching. Come back for more videos because we're going to have a bunch of these, and we'll see you later.